And we're live. We're on time. We're live and we're on time. Unbelievable. How's it going, buddy?
Pretty good. pretty good.
I believe we got a couple of viewers here already. Get your comments in. I think I'm gonna get some rip-ins this week. I mean, we'll get into it, but I've not even looked at it, mate. I'm struggling. How about you?
I mean, I looked at your team after Saturday. Wait, there was a game on Friday. Yeah, we did the pod, didn't we, last Friday?
Yeah.
I got up to a bad start straight away, didn't it? Because Rafinha and had scored.
Yeah.
And then I looked at your team on Saturday evening, and I was like, ooh. He's still got quite a few to play. He can recover. It's still good.
Yeah.
It wasn't still good.
It was not. I was hanging on to some hope, but it just didn't work. And I think it was quite a low scoring week in general, but not as bad as what I've done. And I've had a slow start anyway, but obviously this week just it's not good. It's not good because I'm seriously starting to fall behind now.
Yeah.
So actually, let's bring up the pod league and have a gander at the standings. Like I say, I haven't looked at it since the weekend. It's taken on top of the fantasy, which went awful. Leicester, the Leicester game was horrendous. Have you seen the decisions yet?
Nah, I rarely watch match. Maybe I should start watching it for this.
I actually missed match of the day this week, so I haven't seen the games and the goals, but yeah, the Leicester decisions were ridiculous, mate. And so between that and the fantasy, it's been tough to get over.
Actually, I watched a bit of the second half. Sorry, with Greg, and I did see the which one was it? The goal disallowed. Yeah.
It was a joke. It was a joke, mate. An absolute joke. And that
sort of stuff shouldn't be going to VAR. I don't think.
No. But if Leicester do all right and I do bad in fantasy, I can deal with that. But if both are bad, then that's awful. Here we go. The rippings have started coming in. Peter Horst, the wheels are falling off at Postman Patson, and causing the postman's not delivering. I like that, man. That's pretty good for you, mate. That's pretty good for you. Fuck me. I just saw that head-to-head. I didn't actually realise how many points you got this week. That is embarrassing. What was it, 71-25?
Yeah. I was one of the highest in most of the leagues I was in. I was picked on here. Yeah. It was.
I took a -4. Did you take any minus?
Nah, I was... was I a wild card this week? I can't even think now. Yeah, I was wild card, yeah. So no points spent on transfers.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Oh man, that's bad. That's bad. So what? Your four wins to 1.
4 wins to 1, plus a bit of a goal difference building up.
And before we get to our teams, what's the pod league saying? Have a quick because you must be. That's obviously you've had a strong week, so you must be looking great.
Just joined, so we're up to 10 now.
Nice.
So I was thinking maybe we should discuss. Maybe say you've got until the international break to get into the league, and then close it. Just because people are joining more than halfway through the season and they're miles ahead or whatever. It's a bit shit for everyone else that's been in it since the start, type thing.
They had this debate on the 606 fantasy.
Is it?
They ended up allowing it. They ended up allowing it, but
okay.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But to be honest, I'm gonna keep putting in the description. So we'll just get up. Do you wanna bring up the league table on your screen when you get a chance, and we'll have a look. But yeah, double digits in it. I'm pretty happy with that as a start. Maybe the pod will have to donate some sort of prize to the winner.
We will definitely.
It's very low budget, obviously, so it would be maybe a can of Carlsberg or sort of something like that.
The merch, Foxes and Fantasy T-shirt.
Return Defender. If you win, Matt, then definitely I'll return it to the sender. I.e., I'll just keep the prize for myself.
Can you see the table? Because I've shared the league. Can you see it?
No. You need to. I think you got to reshare your screen. I can't bring it up.
Reshare.
Yeah.
Ah, fucking hell.
It's all good. It's not.
It's not. Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, it's not letting me come out full screen. Now,
You
no?
know, is there a last prize? Otherwise, I'm wasting my time. Well, not necessarily, mate, because you must have caught up with me a bit this week. I don't know. Like I say, I haven't looked too intensely. But is there a last prize? I don't know. We'll think about that. Probably not. Probably not. A wooden spoon. I mean, I'm sure we could send out a wooden spoon, a personalised one, maybe.
Do you see that now?
Yeah. Here we go. So yeah, There we go. There's a 10. So Spooner, you're not bottom yet. My brother's taken that position for the time being, although it's pretty close. We've got Neil beyond the 90 there as well. He's caught me up a bit this week. Look at that. It just shows how bad a week I've had, really. But yeah, you four at the top. Purnell, who's watching, is up there. Good strong week for him. And yeah, pretty tight between you four.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's good to have a bit of a competition from elsewhere.
Oh, mate. Like, this is what I'm 80 points behind you, pretty much. That's a lot. We're
gonna have to look at getting maybe a guest on or something to replace you for a few weeks while you recover, maybe.
I'm still right. I should still be addressed as champ, right, for the rest of this year. Technically, I'm still champ, and like I think the pressure. I'm not gonna lie, the pressure's getting to me a bit. It's hard to keep that going 2 years in a row, but I am still, the main man from last season. But it's just all going wrong. What can I say?
Should we start with your team and you can sort of talk us through what went?
Yeah, let's have a gun. 80 points, mind. That is like 50 and below. I can deal with that. But 80 starting to get worrying. I mean, where do we start with this crock of shit? I suppose where we start is like if you go to the bench as well. James didn't even come on. Did James not even come on? I didn't even realise that. Of course,
no, because I think Azpilicueta played the whole 90, did he?
Yeah, he must have. Yeah, that was the final game, so that killed me. But I mean, I brought in my but no, I told you there were shots transfers last week. I mean, I was ripping you for St. Maximan, and he's bloody scored bonus. So what can I say? Like so I brought in Torres and Richarlison. I mean, there was no news about Richarlison being injured. That was impossible to know about. And they were playing Norwich at home this upcoming game week, which is why I had him mainly. Torres, okay, I think he was due a rest. I knew it was a risk. I'm just very thankful he didn't come on, because I mean, not that Bruno did anything for me anyway, so it didn't actually make much of a difference in the end. But yeah, so 2 transfers in, a -4, and neither of them played. So that just sort of sums it up, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say, like, we've talked about Pep Roulette, and like you admitted yourself that it was a risk, but just looking at the rest of your team, the captain shout wasn't even like necessarily, even if you had Walker, for example, it's only 12 points. It's like the whole team is just
nothing. I was basically had blanks across the board, pretty much. Like, other than Walker and Livramento came off the bench, and obviously that was a miracle him getting a clean sheet against Man City.
You said at the start of the game week that Livramento would have been your second highest point scorer.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is with Torres as well, it's obviously I was hyping him up in pre-season. I've been talking about all this time, and it's just absolutely typical that when I actually decide to put him in,
he scored last night as well, didn't he, in the League Cup?
Yeah, did he? Oh, I didn't even see that. I mean, yeah. So only Tempest playing, no returns. Obviously, Traore, not working out. I could have gone for Rafinha or Gray. I would have been much better off. I think Rafinha was one I was seriously looking at as well. Bad. I mean, bad. To be fair, I've made some bad decisions. There's no doubt. Smith Rowe, he started. I thought that that's good. But he's not actually scored or assisted yet, has he? And he started every game other than that one.
I really do want to get, as much as me being an Arsenal fan, I want to vouch for him. Like, he's one of the ones that he's pretty much top of my list to take out, but it's just trying to find someone of similar value who's doing well.
Yeah. I mean,
there's a couple, but we can come on to that.
Yeah. Obviously, not having Ronaldo has been hurting as well. Like, hasn't been good. obviously, and the thing is with Lukaku, I got him in early, and he did do well in the first game week. But like everyone's going to end up having him in the next couple of weeks when their fixtures improve. So anything I'm going to gain from him, I mean, I'll gain a bit in price, but that's about it. Like, he's going to be in everyone's team. There's not really much else to say, mate.
The graphic says it all, really, doesn't it?
I mean, Jota missed a sitter.
Oh,
he missed an absolute sitter.
Yeah. I just see Richarlison's out as well till like mid-October.
Yeah, so I made one transfer, and that's the only one I'm doing. It's going to be, and it's Richarlison out. So
I've been here on the bench, so you've got him anyway to come in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So Antonio will come back in, Richarlison will go out. I'm not going to take a -4, even though this team needs some work. I just don't think who have Wolves got. I'll give Troy one last chance.
Yeah, their fixtures are still decent in the next few games. Southampton, although they've kept a couple of clean sheets in a row. Newcastle looked a bit better against Leeds, but still conceding. So maybe.
I'll give him one last chance. I mean, I just don't want to keep taking -4s and just keep falling further behind. I'm not really in a position to do that at this point. Obviously, I will look to get him out. I obviously regret taking my wild card so early as well. Because
you could do a wild card at the minute.
I probably could. I mean,
when you played it at the time, it seemed. This is how quickly things can change in fantasy, isn't it? Because like James, for example, like you got to think he's going to be a good shout, especially with the fixtures coming up. But it's a bit worrying that he hasn't been, even since he's come back from suspension, he didn't play. So that's a worry. Torres is a worry, and then like I said, it's just injury, and then these two aren't exactly doing much. Your defense is still all good. I think Sanchez rose in price.
That was the first. That was the first game that Torres was dropped, and it was kind of inevitable because he played 4 in a row. So, I still feel like he is going to be the main. Like, he is going to be playing the majority of their games.
Yeah.
But obviously obviously Pep Roulette is there. Spooner, he got sad eyes this week. I'm hurt, mate. It's hurted. Peter, there's a complete rebuild. I mean.
Firmino's back in training.
Not an option.
Apparently,
he's back in training already.
Yeah.
Isn't there one more game and then another international break?
Yeah, there's this week coming up, then the week after, and then it's the international break. Yeah.
Okay.
So two game weeks to go.
2 game weeks. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, over the next few weeks, obviously, it will change. I think Smith Rowe and Traore, just those two alone. If I had had say Gray and Rafinha instead of those two, that would have made a big difference over the last couple of weeks. But yeah, I think I don't know. Like, there's a few players that I feel like I kind of missed the boat, and now it's almost a bit too late. There's like Greenwood, obviously. Ronaldo, it's almost a matter of principle that I'm not going for him as well. But yeah, like, I don't really have anything else to say. It's a shambles.
I can see you struggling. Yeah.
It's a shambles. It's an absolute shambles.
I mean, at least
that's the worst week of fantasy I've had in.
It's got to be in that
I can remember, like, in a long time.
I'm just going to look like at the actual fixtures. Was there many goals about in total?
No, well, I thought it was quite a low-scoring game week, but then the big players produced. So you had Ronaldo, you had Salah. So those are the 2 highest captain picks. So straight away, I was at a big disadvantage just from that. Other than that, I mean, it wasn't
clean sheets about, like, So a lot of people's defenses probably did all right, unless you had United or defense. I think everyone did all right defensively. I know I did, and then it's just a point of the captain is just such a big influence in it on the game week. Even though, like I said, like, it wouldn't have made too much difference for your team this week, but in general, like, if you choose the wrong one, it can be a disaster.
Well, if Bruno scored double figures, say, so add another 16 onto that, then it's not looking so bad. It's not looking so bad.
Then, yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I just got to hope that Lukaku, Jota, and Torres all score hat tricks on the same game week, and I'll be back in the game. But it's like, I mean, it's still the only benefit that I have is that it's still very early days, and although 80 points is a bit of a mountain to climb already,
it's not. It really isn't. It's just this is where you'll come back into it, I think, because if I had that week, I would have probably spent 24 points already on transfers, because I know that that's what I've done in the past when I've had a week like that. So
yeah, I still feel like it's. I feel like there's some element that it's just a bit unlucky. Like I say, Richarlison being injured without it being publicised. Torres, it was a risk, but dropped for the first game this season. James has been Chelsea's best player probably, and just because they were playing against a decent team, Tuchel's decided to go for a more defensive option.
Yeah.
So it's just like I don't think. I still feel like this team could, have a good, score all right or score okay. It just happened to be that this week, just all went tits up.
I think so, because just looking at your bench there, I know that obviously that wasn't your actual bench you started with, but it just shows that how strong your squad is. Overall, it's a good squad. And it's just unlucky that all 15 players have done bad.
Maybe that's what. Well, yeah, exactly. That should be my strength, is the fact that I've got a stronger bench than most people. But even this week, it didn't work out. And again, am I missing a trick there? Because at the end of the day, like I said, it's the big players that are producing. And if you just have 11 players, if you have one sub that you can use, you got 11 players. You invest heavy on, and you get the main men in. That's where most people are flying at the moment. And the thing is, I'm relying with this team. I'm relying on Ronaldo and Salah not to score too big, because
that is a concern. Yeah,
and they are. Then consistently they're scoring points every week. So I'm just that's killing me. That is killing me. And obviously Salah and for Bruno is the obvious one that is might have to happen at some point. I mean,
I was saying to Reed, because Jota hasn't been playing, hasn't scored really the last few weeks, has he? But I still think he's a good. Reed made the point that he's missed quite a few sitters in the last few games, but he's still getting the opportunities. He's not going to keep missing. So I think Jota. Are you thinking you're going to keep Jota for now? Or?
No, he's the last of my worries.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, he literally is the last of my worries. Him and Lukaku. Like you say, okay, he hasn't scored, but he's still playing every week. Yeah. He's going to get goals in that Liverpool team.
Yeah.
There'll be one week where he scores 2 and Salah scores none, and that'll be ideal. But I feel like what I need to probably start looking towards is weakening my bench a bit, investing more in the team in the starting 11, and it's just try and strengthen that way. Patrice Traoré was unlucky not to score. I mean, when is he not? You could say that about him every game. That's the problem.
He hit the bar, didn't he?
Yeah, did he hit the bar? I haven't seen the highlights. Hit the bar. I mean, and Jota did miss some 2 yards. Lukaku had a good chance from a header, I think. Obviously, you can say this about all the players there. You can nitpick.
Yeah. But Richarlison, that's one of your big, attack. It does piss me off when it's there's no, especially with an injury like that, where it's he's clearly out for a few weeks. It's why hasn't that been announced? You expect that to be announced before the game week in the press conference or whatever.
Yeah, they do it on purpose so that the other club might not necessarily find out, so that they don't alter their tactics. That's
what I always used to think, but most clubs are pretty open about now. This player's not available this week or whatever. Maybe it's just the odd few clubs. I think with Everton especially, it seems that maybe it's a Benitez thing, because Calvert had that injury, didn't he? Where it was
no one expected him. I've had 2 Everton, but I had Calvert and he didn't play last week. I put in Richarlison and he didn't play this week. Fucking hell! I mean,
stay away from Everton.
And Richarlison as well. When I put him in, I thought I've never put him in before, and it was only because, like I say, Calvert-Lewin was injured, and they're playing Norwich this week.
Yeah.
But just bad decision. There's just been a few where I've been like 50-50 between one player and another. The big, like Wilson over Antonio at the start of the season was the big one, and I've just gone for probably the slightly less obvious choice, and it's backfired, but I need to kind of take responsibility for that, really.
So are you gonna, because obviously last week we said we tried, obviously circumstances mean we can't do the pod on Friday this week, which is why we're doing it a bit earlier. Are you, considering your position in the league, are you going to disclose your transfer, or are you keeping that under wraps, Rafa style?
Yeah, well, I might as well. I mean, yeah, I went for Bamford. I've gone for Bamford. So
who they got?
They've got a good run of fixtures.
Oh, they haven't they? Yeah.
Maybe not so much this week though. Is it West Ham, or I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's West Ham. Yeah.
So not so much this week. I did think about getting Dennis in and trying to reinvest elsewhere.
Yeah.
But then it was just because of Bamford's fixtures, really, and the fact that I could afford him. So
yeah,
hopefully, I mean, he's not exactly been on amazing form, so hopefully he can start banging them in.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough of this pile of shit. Let's just have a look at your team. Like I say, it was the combination of this and the Leicester game, which, I mean, I know I'm very partisan and that, but like, Jesus Christ, the decisions were horrendous, and oh my God, like we just have a weekend like that, and it's just it's savage.
Yeah.
Your old man, when are you going to start talking about Leeds, best team in the Premiership? Obviously, just not.
Is it?
Well, is it? I mean, well, as this is a fantasy pod, obviously the Leeds players are your Richarlisons. No, your Richarlisons. God, he's still on my mind. Bamford, who, like I said, I've just brought in, and he hasn't really hit the heights of last season yet, but I'm hopeful that he will do. And Rafinha, who obviously scored last week. Like, yeah, I don't know what your take is on those players or any other Leeds players that you think might be worth it.
Well, I reckon, to be honest, Dad probably never even heard of these players because he only knows Lucas Radapi and Billy Bremner.
Mark Viduka.
Yeah, I mean, he still holds that over me, like to this day, that Leeds have, like back in the day when they got good in the Champions League and stuff. But it is good to see them back in the Premier League because we missed out on a lot of banter for a few years. But yeah, they're not having the greatest of starts.
And the thing is that they're always susceptible to conceding to shipping quite a few goals. So, like I say, so their attacking options are the ones worth considering, but not defensively. But West Ham, that's quite a big game this weekend. That should be a high scoring game, I'd imagine.
I can see that being a high scoring one. Yeah.
All right, so your Arsenal account paid off, mate. Congrats.
Yeah, I was just going to say a game that wasn't high scoring was our game. And yeah, I mean, it was looking a bit ropey for a little bit because we got the goal. Like, it's just typical. Like you said, it's not an easy game away to Burnley. But they were just literally pumping balls into the box. Like they weren't even aiming half the time. They were just lumping it up there. And thank God we got Gabriel back because he was dealing with it because White wasn't actually that great. And there was a point in the second half where White did a short back pass to Ramsdale, and
the penalty
nipped in. Yeah, and it looked like the referee gave a penalty, and I was like, "Well, that's my game week." Absolutely buggered because I thought Ramsdale was about to get sent off. I thought that's the clean sheet gone. So that's like, I've got 16 points there from Ramsdale and White, which could have been, 1 or -1 or -2 maybe.
Yeah.
But overall,
it's a big swing, isn't it? It's a big swing. And in fact, just because you mentioned that, one thing I did forget to mention on my team is obviously Walker was my highest scoring player, and he got sent off, and it got overturned. So imagine, I mean,
yeah,
it could have been even worse. That's all I could say. But no. So really, and obviously the fact that you've gone not only an Arsenal defender but doubled up. No one's got. I don't think anyone's got any Arsenal defenders. So you really kind of got a big advantage on people straight away with those two.
I noticed a few have put Ramsdale in. It's or White. So it's like one or the other. But like we said, Ramsdale is still a rotation risk with Leno. But I think if Ramsdale starts against Tottenham, that's it for Leno. I think because Ramsdale was probably our best player, probably man of the match. So unless Arteta does decide to be a tit like you said last week, then he should be starting again this week. And we did look a lot better in possession, and like I said, they were throwing balls into the box, but they were aimless, and we dealt with it pretty well.
You got your full. You got your team now compared to the team that started against Brentford first game. It's completely different, and it's way stronger.
Yeah, and we've got Tottenham next at home, and then obviously Brighton are on a run, so that's not going to be easy. Then these are sort of similar against teams sort of in a similar position, so hopefully they can continue to get me a few points. But like we said already, Smith Rowe is a bit of a dodgy one because obviously Odegaard scored the free kick and they're the same price. I think Odegaard's 0.1 more. And Odegaard is on free corners and stuff as well, so he might be worth thinking about putting in.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. Similar price as well, isn't it? See, Salah 24 points. Obviously, Bruno got me 4, so you're looking at 20 point jump just on the captain alone. Which, do you know what? I think last season when I was doing really well, one of the things that did keep going my way was the captain choices, and I don't think I've had a couple of okay ones this season, but no one who's fully produced. And but I mean, Salah at home against who was it? Palace. Pretty obvious one, and he produced.
I think going forward, I will stick to picking captains that are playing at home because
I tend to
because of the first half of the season, because the fans are just coming back, and I've noticed that for example, tonight Arsenal got 50,000 going to the League Cup game. It's like you'd never usually see that. I think people are quite anxious to get back in the stadium, so there's a lot of noise. It does seem to be like the home teams are doing quite well. So I'm going to try and stick with home captains, I think. But you do the same, do you?
I tend to, or if it's it depends. Obviously, if they're playing against a lower team, it doesn't matter so much. But if it's either or between two, I would generally go for the home fixture.
Yeah, because Liverpool got Brentford this week. So I'm not too sure about if I'm going to captain Salah yet or not.
I just feel like he's on form at the moment.
He is on form.
When he's on form like this, it's hard to avoid him. I mean, the longer I leave it, the riskier it gets, really. But at the same time, I feel like as well, I don't know. Obviously, most people are going to be gravitating towards Salah from Bruno now. So if I stick with Bruno, at least I'm going to gain if he does well, and rather than just kind of match what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, they had a good result, Villa, didn't they? 3-0 against Everton, but like we said, Everton didn't know Richarlison or Calvert-Lewin.
Did you watch that game?
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, because Leon Bailly looks class, didn't he? But then he went off. He went off with an injury, so he didn't last for. I think he got man of the match, even though he only played about 10-15 minutes. But because he's pretty cheap, and he's like 6.
I think he's 6 or 6.5. But I remember when I watched him at Bayer Leverkusen, he is very injury prone.
Right.
He did look quality though. If they've got a good run of fixtures, then around that 6.5 mark, he's definitely worth thinking about for sure.
Yeah. And then he went for Pukki over Dennis, but then they both ended up scoring in the end.
I said we labelled it the Pukki Dennis derby, didn't we? Disappointing. Dennis. Yeah, it's the first time I see, because obviously keeping an eye on it now that I've got players from those teams in. I had a little eye on it, and Dennis's goal was quite nice. Got across his man, and just stuck a header away in the corner. He looked quite lively. So I am still thinking about, maybe not yet, but if I need to save some money somewhere, I might downgrade Pukki for Dennis, because they're basically going to do pretty much the same, aren't they? I can save 0.7. I think especially now Dennis is back on the score sheet, I think you'll see he'll probably be one of the most transferred in, I imagine, for this week. So
probably.
Yeah,
probably. Have I made the wrong decision again going for Bamford? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think Bamford's not picked by many though at this point, so hopefully. But I feel like, because let's have a look at your bench again. You have people come in off the bench, so that's
so I put Alexander Arnold in for the wild card, and obviously he was another one that there was no talk of him missing the game, but it was illness, so I can sort of allow it. But I'm a bit annoyed because if he's out again, I think he should be back. But if it's like one of those illness, a bit of flu or something, then Klopp might be like, "Oh, you're better. Brentford, you're better off having another week off." I put him in specifically for the obviously long term. I'll probably have him anyway, but I wanted him to score big in these 2 games because after that they've got a harder run of fixtures. Yeah, City after that, and then United and West Ham as well. So. I'm considering already. I mean, I'll keep him in this week and hope that he starts. But obviously, I want to start thinking about getting some Chelsea players in. So you might have to go for Alonso or James.
Surely, like James was dropped. Surely, I know Alonso's been playing great, but surely Chilwell's going to play a game sooner or later. Like
that's it. I can't. That's why I can't bring myself. I really want to put Alonso in because every time I watch them, he's like in the box.
He's right up there, isn't he? Yeah. He's literally he's like playing like a left winger or attacking midfielder.
I need to keep an eye on. Actually, let's have a look because Chelsea are playing League Cup tonight. I wonder if Chilwell's probably starting in this. Then
that's a shout. Actually, Leicester are playing. I don't think.
Yeah, Chilwell's starting for Chelsea, and James. So
yeah, well, is it? Because they've got another tough game, haven't they? Who have they got?
Chelsea.
Yeah,
City at the weekend.
He's going to play Azpilicueta again.
Yeah, for that game.
It's just a joke, though, isn't it? It's like I get it. But James is class. Like he's been the fucking best player. All right, I'm putting him on the bench right now.
Yeah, I mean that's why I haven't done any transfers yet, just in case there's a cheeky injury or whatever tonight, or if anyone goes extra time and penalties. I know that most teams are going to be playing their like second teams, but I'll keep an eye on the events of tonight and then make my transfers. I might have missed out because I was thinking about putting Rudiger in. He's gone at 0.1. He seems pretty nailed on now, doesn't he? He was one of your shouts at the start. Have you not had him the whole time?
I know, but yeah, I know. Only because he's the most guaranteed. He's like undroppable at this point. But he's not going to get you the same return as a James on a week by week basis. But if he's going to play all the time, then yeah.
You would have thought by now James would have like solidified that right back spot, and it like especially when they play 5 at the back, you think Azpilicueta can play that right centre back if needed. But it just seems that I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Sorry, I was going to say the stupid thing with Torres as well is that I brought him in specifically because they were playing Southampton at home, and their next 2 fixtures are actually like the Chelsea away and Liverpool away.
Oh, yeah, it is, and they got PSG in the Champions League, so there's going to be probably quite a bit of rotation going on. And that's going to be
why now he's just a burden at this everything. He is though, isn't he? For the next 2 weeks, he's just a liability.
That's what I was saying about. That's like I wasn't sure whether Foden would start, and obviously he didn't. And he came on, and I think he did all right, but obviously didn't score many points. But he played 70 minutes last night, and he scored and assisted. So I'm hoping that's just a case of getting the minutes in his legs for those games coming up, because I'm sure that he's a pretty big game player for them. I'm hoping that he'll. But again, with all those games coming up, there's no way he's going to play 90 minutes every week. So, at 7.9, he is quite expensive considering he's just come back from injury. And like I said, he's at the same rotation risk as Torres, really.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, it's just, I really don't want to take a -4. And it's just like, well, hopefully he'll at least play that game against Chelsea, seeing as he was rested last week.
Yeah.
And then, I think I'll just risk it. It's either that or starting Smith Rowe and Benjamin.
I think Smith Rowe will start again. Well, let me see if he's playing tonight. I think, to be honest, I think we'll probably go with a strong team tonight just to keep the. No, Smith Rowe's not playing, so yeah. Yeah, he is on the bench, but I think he'll start against.
Daka's not even playing in the bloody Carling Cup, in the Carabao Cup. I don't get it. I don't get it. Millwall
away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he's still playing Tillemans and Ndidi. I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's just a bit different.
Leicester. Who's had a worse start to the season, Leicester or me? Definitely me. Definitely me. But
yeah, but they're a swift way
yes.
following suit, aren't they?
Big performance from James tonight. Then. Fuck off. Full 90, mate. I'm benched him anyway. He's on the bench, so fuck him and fuck you. No, yeah, like Torres. I don't know. I'm probably just going to risk it. It's either that or take another -4 for someone who's probably not going to work out, and then
yeah.
And the thing is, Rafinha could be a good shout from next week. I don't really want him and Bamford against West Ham, but from next week, maybe Rafinha.
Yeah. And I've still got I have been thinking ahead a lot to the Chelsea games coming up and what I need to do. And Diaz was one that I don't even know why I was thinking it really, but I was thinking about I could take him out because he's quite expensive. I could get any Chelsea defender I want and use a bit of money elsewhere, but he's just gone up to 6.1, and I didn't actually realise that Stones and Laporte are both injured, so he's going to play every game, isn't he? So I've got to keep Diaz in.
Yeah.
If anyone goes out of the defence, it will maybe be Trent, but he's just such an asset if he is starting and Liverpool playing well, which they seem to be.
I think again, like, do you know what's really fun? I don't want to keep bringing this back, but I keep thinking about different things. Like, okay, so I got a bit lucky with the Walker sending off. The Torres thing didn't make a difference in the end because I ended up playing with 10 men, so it wouldn't have made a difference. But Ronaldo should have had what? At least one nailed on pen, maybe 2 or 3.
Did he? I didn't see the game.
Yeah, they definitely, at least one of them was definite pen.
Yeah.
So he could have scored it, and then Trent not starting, that was a guaranteed clean sheet pretty much, plus whatever other points he might have scored. In the grand scheme of things, as bad as it was, it actually could have been worse. Oh, you've always look on the bright side. I mean, I'm picking at straws here, but I really need to take any positives that I can find.
Yeah, I mean, my bench is like considerably weaker than yours, but Duffy is still doing it. Like Greenwood don't do anything.
Bullshit though as well. A bullshit assist because it should never have been a pen. It should never have been a pen. So, but Duffy, fair play to him. It is a good shout. You called that early, and he has been a good shout.
I just wish I had him in from game week 1, but yeah, I probably wouldn't have started.
He's always going to be a bench player anyway, isn't he? But
I don't think there's really much more to say on my team other than I'm going to basically keep it the same. But I might start thinking about. I'll see how the City Chelsea game goes, and then I might just save the transfer this week and then have 2 for the Chelsea. I mean, Greenwood, I'm thinking that he could be at risk. I know it's only 1 week, he hasn't done nothing, but maybe start spreading out. 3 United might be a bit much. Their fixtures are getting a bit harder now. So it'd be silly. I mean, the right thing to do is to swap him for a Chelsea midfielder, but I was thinking about maybe, because I'm going to bring Lukaku in. The plan was to bring him in for Ronaldo, but now I've started thinking, can I get him? I don't really want to hit Ronaldo out because so many people have got him. So I'm thinking, can I get both?
I was considering it too.
And then I'm thinking if I do that, I could, if I want to get a Chelsea player in who's like a bit of a risky one, Kovacic at 5.1 he's got 2 goals and that might be him for the season, but he's got 2 goals and assists in his last 2 weeks. And he seems to be starting. I might just chuck him in there as like a bench option. I'm only going to save 2 mil there, so I've still got to find quite a bit more to get Lukaku in. I have to probably take Jota out as well. So
I considered the same thing in terms of if I didn't. Oh mate, Bamford's a yellow now. 75% chance of playing. Are you fucking kidding me?
Did they play last night?
I guess so. 75% chance, though. That should be fine.
Yeah.
Like, fuck's sake. But yeah, so if I go for Ronaldo, mate, he's already gone to 12.7 though. It's like
who?
Ronaldo.
Yeah. And Salah's on his way up. Was he 12.6? Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't really be able to like if I did because I was thinking if I took Antonio out for Dennis and then swapped what was Richarlison but is now Bamford for Ronaldo, I'd still have 1.9 to find.
Yeah.
So you'd be looking at a Son for Bruno, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what their fixtures are like.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
No.
I could afford that with 0 to spare. So as soon as one of them goes up in price, I wouldn't even be able to do it anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just think that Ronaldo is just. I'm just whatever in it. I'm just gonna not do it. If he wins people the league, he wins people the league. I'd rather gain from him doing badly than profit from him doing well. If that makes sense.
Yeah. But I think if you had to choose, like you're in a situation where you have to choose one or the other, and Lukaku, like I'm saying with the midfielders, Lukaku is the obvious one because Saints at home.
I should have just did what you did though, and just use Ronaldo for those initial fixtures, and then move it across. That's definitely what I should have done. But I think I did my wild card a week too early. So that's the thing. If I just waited 1 week for the international break, because I think I did it before Ronaldo's transfer even happened. So
yeah, I think you did.
I'm sure I did. So yeah, I just jumped the gun a little bit, I think.
Oh, and you took Benrahma out, didn't you? And he did. Did he get a goal or an assist or something? You had Benrahma, didn't you?
Yeah, he scored, didn't he? He scored. Typical. I mean, this is it. I bring him in. He scored 12-12. I didn't have him. I bring him in. He scores 2-3. I take him out. He scores 10.
Yeah, he won't be going in for the rest of the season, will he?
I'm gonna have a mental breakdown, mate. The way this is going, I'm actually like, do you know what I mean? The more I think about it, the more like depressed I'm getting.
I am still surprised about the amount of people putting St. Matt. I don't know what the obsession is. Like, I watched the game and he did play really well, but he's gone at 0.2. I mean, like, it's pretty average sort of. I know he's a cheap striker option, but Newcastle, like, I don't know. I'd rather have Dennis.
Well, fair play to Peter Horse, who's for getting Saint Maximin in because yeah, but like, yeah, I don't know. No one had him as a midfielder last season. Now he's a striker. I mean, he is. Don't get me wrong. He is fucking class. And Newcastle basically, it does look like their tactics are just give him the ball and just he does something. But it's same as Traore. It's just that. I think they're very similar players, but maybe Saint Maximin has a little bit more productivity, a little bit more end product. Yeah, and a little bit more trickery as well. He's not such just.
He's not so one-dimensional, is he?
Yeah, exactly. He is class. To be fair, I'd love him. I think he needs to move to a bigger club, innit?
Yeah, every club needs a player like that, and that just can get the fans off their seats. Perfect. So, but yeah, will they? I don't know if they'll be able to hold on to him for too long.
So many people bringing Tsimikas back in. I guess because he's
Matt Adams starting.
Matt Adams starting.
Yeah.
And he got some inside info that Trent was
thinking, maybe the removals job on Merseyside last week and he heard something. Right, is that true? Get in the comments.
Jamal Gray's gone up to 5.8. Obviously, blanked at least.
That was Star as well. He's gone up. Yeah.
And
Kovacic is being quite highly transferred in, but like I said,
it's super cheap, isn't he?
I mean, if you look at his history, it's like he only ever gets a few goals like 1 or 2 goals a season. You know what I mean? So he's done his best season now. He might not score again, but maybe in this.
Yeah, but also Kante. Well, he has been playing well, hasn't he? But what they got, isn't it? It's basically him or Kante plays alongside Jorginho.
That's what I was thinking. Did Kante not play? Did he not play the last game then?
He came on. He came on at half time. He came on at half time.
Okay, good. For some reason, I thought that they were playing Kovacic, like they were playing Kante, Jorginho, and Kovacic, but like Kovacic was playing further forward. But no, that's good to know. I might. Yeah,
I'm not sure who Kante came on for.
Should we have a look at the Chelsea team? Just have a look what sort of, because like we said, neither you've got Lukaku and James, but Mendy. I mean, if Mendy was long-term injury, then Kepa would be a.
Yeah, but yeah, it doesn't sound like it is, does it?
No.
Yeah,
Thiago 5.4 could be quite cheap one. Now he's back. He scored.
yeah. I still think it's hard to argue with Alonso when he's playing because he's taking free kicks. He's, like you said, he's playing way up the pitch.
Yeah.
Then again, James, when he's playing, he's been
class.
He got an assist in the first 5 minutes before he got sent off against Liverpool. Arsenal 2 assists, was it, or one or two assists?
I think he scored as well, did he? I can't remember now.
I mean, maybe got a goal. So he's, I mean, I still think he's the man, but
then these lot aren't cutting it, are they? Like Mount, Havertz, like we talked about Ziyech. I don't know what's happened with him.
He's back. He was on the bench. So I still. So he played 90 minutes. Did he? The game before.
The game before, yeah.
I still got my eye on him, but until they've just got so many options in that position, haven't they? Attacking midfield / wing. They got so many options.
They have. I think with the wing backs getting forward so much, the midfield maybe he prefers a more solid midfield. So that, for players like, okay, Mount's a bit of an all rounder, you could say, but players like Ziyech, who are a bit like, they are what they are, number 10. Not necessarily fit in the team, but he was so good in pre-season and at the start. So keep an eye on him for sure. Werner's just not getting any game time, really, is he?
No, I thought that they might start playing him either alongside Lukaku or on the wing, but no, it doesn't look like it. And so in terms of transfers this week, you haven't made any yet, no?
No. So the one I did, I was looking at a dodgy -8 last couple of nights ago.
Oh yeah, I thought you were actually going to do that.
Yeah, so no, that was. I think the transfers were. I think it was Kovacic for Jota. Pukki for Dennis, and then Greenwood for Lukaku, and then maybe I downgraded it. It might be -12 even. It was stupid, so I left it in the end. I spent hours and then just put the phone down. But I might. It's hard. I'm quite happy with it. I might just leave it.
It's always good to. I think if you can bank that extra transfer. It is good because then if you do want to say that -8, that's only going to be a -4 then. So
I mean, this is a team. I put Diaz on the bench because they got Chelsea. So if Trent doesn't play, I've got him coming on. It's not the end of the world. Fixtures are pretty good. Yeah, I'll probably go with that. I think Arsenal this week against Tottenham. I'll be lucky to get a clean sheet there. I think, but Tottenham haven't exactly looked great, so I think I'm going to risk that. Not like I can do anything anyway because Raya's got Liverpool, so rather have Ramsdale at home to Tottenham.
Yeah. It's not like Tottenham have been firing on all cylinders either.
Yeah, because they're at home to Villa, so I'm thinking him over Salah.
Yeah. I'm looking at Bruno probably again at home to Villa. Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's the home thing, isn't it? But it is starting to look like Ronaldo's going to be taking some of Bruno's points away from him. Again, that was another thing that was a bit unlucky because his goal, Bruno assisted it, but the keeper saved it, and Ronaldo scored on the rebound.
Yeah.
So it was essentially a Bruno assist. It was just the fact that he had 2 attempts at goal.
That's the thing. You've got Bruno in there who's quite expensive, or very expensive. But yeah, if he is getting the assist, but then Ronaldo's getting the goal, it's like you've just got him in there to counter Ronaldo, but then Ronaldo can get assists from others as well. It's tricky because
he's even gone down in price, which
that's because everyone's going from Bruno to Ronaldo. Ronaldo's going up, Bruno's going down. But then if Bruno has a great game week this week, it'll swing the other way, which I think you're going to see a lot of this season. I think, like we said, those sort of 5 or 6 premium players are going to get swapped in and out quite a bit, and it's just whether you're on them at the right time.
Yeah, I do think that will mix things up as well more this year. You will get peaks and troughs, and you will get it. Like you say, it just depends on who bangs. Like if if Ronaldo has a quiet one and Lukaku scores a hat trick, then it's going to swing one way or vice versa. So there is going to be a lot more of that, I think, than in previous years.
Yeah. I think if you manage your budget carefully as well, but if you are going to do that, and then so say for example you take Ronaldo out and put Lukaku in, but then you use that mill somewhere else to change someone else, you're going to constantly have to spend 4 points every week to change between them. So you have to really, if you are going to do, well, if I'm going to do that, I will just like swap them out and then keep the mill to put the other one back in the next week if I need to, rather than.
Again, I think with the -4, it's a tricky one. I feel last season when I was in the lead, I was taking -4s most week because I felt like I had the cushion. It was giving me more flexibility, and so I feel like if you are in a good position, there's no reason not to do that. I feel like if you're chasing though, and your -4 doesn't work out, then that's it's going to be harder to try and make up that ground because you're already kind of.
That's what usually, and that's when I go off the rails and spend like 16 points. I think you can get away with doing like what I would call like a fake wild card, like a third wild card, where you do spend 16, 20 points, as long as you map out that you're not spending any transfers for like the next 4 or 5 weeks to compensate for it. So if you've got, for example, with your Chelsea games coming up and you ain't got any, if you've already done your wild card and you want to put 3 in, that's probably a time to do it, isn't it? But don't just do it for like, oh, I'm a bit pissed off, like I want a better team this week type thing. It's got to be a long term.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Like, and I've sort of fallen into the trap because early on in the season, it's so easy to think short term. You see someone have a good week, and you're like, "Shit, I've got to get him in. I have to have him." And then the next, Ben Rama was my one, and then doesn't do anything for 2 weeks. You think, "Oh, screw this guy. He's useless. He's not doing anything. Get him out." Scores 10 points. Like, there is a lot of luck to, and I think there is. Don't get me. It's a really good balance between strategy, decision making, and luck at the end of the day. And like, I think. Like, I wouldn't just blame my position and just down to luck. It has played a part, but then ultimately it's been the decisions that have led to that in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, so
it's how you bounce back from those tough.
It's how you bounce back, mate. It's onwards and upwards, and it's the only way is up, right? The only way is up. It's like I need to regroup, reassess. The good thing about the head-to-head is it's 3 points on the line every week. I can catch that up.
Yeah.
I just need to get some wins on the board. So the head-to-head, at least kind of, it's like, it's not such a big worry. But the point is like, I really need to, and the trouble is I don't have much confidence in my team this week. I can't sit here and say I think it's going to do well because the fixtures aren't ideal. And I've got some. Yeah, it's just not ideal. So I'm not expecting big things this week, but hopefully I can at least kind of match people. Hopefully Salah and Ronaldo chill the fuck out. And yeah, we'll see. We'll come back next week and see.
Yeah. Are you back?
I'm back. Yeah, I'm back on Monday. So do you know what? The one thing I'm quite thankful for is obviously, I'm going away. I'm going to a wedding. I'm not
in the country.
I'm out of the country. The wedding's on the Saturday. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm going to have my mind is going to be elsewhere. So rather than just being like, oh, for fuck's sake, like, just checking my phone and seeing how bad things are going.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a back seat this week. I'll just let it play out and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think I'll be doing if mine's not working out. I've got the Ryder Cup to fall back on, so that'll be my release. Yeah,
it's hard. Like we had to wait till today to so like if we as much as I'm still feeling it, I've gone over it a bit to this point. Monday, I was like fuming, absolutely fuming, and as I say, it was this and the Leicester thing together. But you got to brush yourself off and get ready for another week. It's your turn. It's your turn to be in the lead and be the man to chase. You can take that burden, that pressure on your shoulders.
It is a lot of pressure.
I'll be the chaser. I'm happy with that.
You'll be Anne. What's her name? Anne Hegarty.
The
Dark Destroyer.
All right, we'll leave it there. We didn't get any questions about tips or anything. People are probably giving up on asking me for any tips, but Davis is doing well. So if you want to ask, you're very welcome to. Yeah. I think we'll leave it there for this week. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Join the league if you haven't. Yeah. Like, subscribe, join the league, all that stuff. And I mean, I hope that I'll be in a better mood next week. That's all I can say, mate.
Yeah, man. Enjoy the wedding.
Yeah, cheers, buddy. Thanks very much. Right, and as soon as I can work out how to end this stream, we will stop it right there. Because last time I don't know if anyone saw, but I obviously left you on your own.
Yeah. I was caught like this. I was on my own. And I was like looking out the window or something. I can't think what. And then I took a sip of my drink, looked around, and I was still on the stream. So I closed it and I watched it back afterwards. And literally the last second is me like this.
Yeah. Well, it's like I didn't realize. Otherwise, it would have been a live recording for the next night. It would have gone on all night probably. Just like me brushing my teeth and shit.